Here's an amortization schedule that I created in a previous video for a 5-year, $20,000 loan. Now this loan has annual payments, and I did this just because it's very simple and easy to calculate in just a few lines, and the amortization schedule is quite short. But more realistically, a loan that we will see has monthly payments. So for example, a car loan. And so we can take this same exact example and leave all the numbers the same with one exception. The payments are going to be made at monthly intervals instead of at yearly intervals. And so let's just take this spreadsheet and delete some stuff, and we'll just go from where we are and make it monthly. So let's move. Okay. So let's add just a couple of fields here for the number of payments. And so this first one, I'm just going to say payments per year and make that 12. And then we'll have total payments, and we'll make that equal to the product of the above two cells. So there we have 60 payments. And then we need to tweak the interest rate that goes into the formula just a little bit. And so this first one, I'm going to qualify this. I'm going to write APR because this is an annual interest rate, also known as an annualized percentage rate. So that's still the stated or the quoted interest rate on the loan. But what we need is a periodic interest rate. And since we have 12 payments per year, the calculation for the periodic interest rate is just going to be the APR divided by the number of payments per year, or 12. And so that gets us to 0.5%. And I'll put this in percent as well, just so things look nice and clean. Okay. Now, here's our payment using an annual payment schedule. Now, we can approximate what the monthly payment will be like by simply dividing this thing by 12. Okay, $395.66. Now, the reason that is approximate is that our principal balance of the loan is actually declining every month. And so while it's not a huge difference, you will pay less interest under monthly payments than you will under annual payments. Again, because after every month, the principal is going to go down, and the interest component of the payment will go down. And so let's compute a monthly payment now, and we're going to use the same formula as before, this payment formula, but we're going to tweak the inputs just a little bit. So going to our little formula assistant again, we need an interest rate, and we need the periodic rate. And so I'm going to go to this cell, this 0.5% as the periodic rate. Number of periods, that's going to be this cell, 60. The present value is still 20,000 as it was before. And recall, we made this a negative number in the prior tutorial so that our payment would come out as a positive number. Okay, so it should be good to go. And there it is. Okay, so there's our monthly payment. And so this does actually check out quite nicely, right? We knew this payment was going to be too high, and it is. So the actual payment is $386.66. Okay, so almost done. Actually, we can go over here to our amortization schedule and tweak a few of these cells as well, and then slide them down, and we'll have the full schedule. Okay, so we're still starting with 20,000. So that cell's fine. The interest paid cell, instead of, and look up here at our formula line, instead of being the APR times the beginning principal, it needs to be that cell, right? That cell right there, the periodic interest rate. So it needs to be B7. So let's go back in here and change our B6 to a B7. And then our amortized principal is the difference between the payment amount and the interest paid. And here we were linking to B10, which was the annual payment. We need to link to B11 instead. So let me change that reference to B11. And now we should be good to go. So we can drag this down, clear all that out. And now I believe we are done. So we have a 60-month amortization schedule. And so as before, this column, the principal balance, you can see that it is declining all the way to 0. We have an interest component that is declining as we make payments, and an amortized principal component that is increasing as we make payments. And so if we want to know something like what's the payoff amount of the loan after 2 years of payments, we can go here to the 24th payment and we can see that number right there, $12,709.78. That's the payoff.